The drummers in Nima. Drummers in Nima. Nima is a place of full of cultures. All part of Africa is in Nima. Nima is in Greater Accra region. We have East Ayawaso, West Ayawaso. Nima is full of culture. You find Malians there, the Nigers are there, the Burkinabe people are there, Cote d'Ivoire are there, Togo are there, Benin, Nigerians, and all part of Ghana is also living in Nima. So Nima is 24 hours music, traditional music and music. Wedding ceremony, adoring, funeral, a lot of music is going on. All the drummers do is the drummers follow music to music, music to music, listening to music all the time. The drummers listening to a group, Hausa group, they use talking drum. They call them kidi. After the Hausas play their music, the drummers came together that they will play the music they listen, but they will rearrange it and play it on their style. So they group and then make their instruments ready to go and have their first performance. In where we live, there is a small field where I think in between the houses, there was a small field where we used that place for playing all sort of games on that field. That field is called Filin Kubewa. Filin Kubewa means a field of okro, this vegetable called okro. But they don't plant okro there, but they dry the okro there, so they call it Filin Kubewa. So the drummers were ready to go and have their first performance. They came to the field, arranged themselves, people watching them from windows, and you know the houses are, some are compound house, some are also open, so you can be in your house and see what is going on the field. So people start to watch them and see what are they going to do. As they start, their first performance lasts 1 minute, 1 second, and they were chased away. I mean, if I say chased away, was not just one person will say, hey, you people should leave here. No. There was shouting from all angles, from windows, from everywhere, chased away. So they get shocked and ran. And as they were running, they scattered. The drummers scattered. They scat and regroup. They have a meeting place, so they regroup themselves and think to come another day. The next day, they regroup themselves, getting ready to go to the field and try to they want to make the music because they rearrange the music and they want to play it, to listen to it and see how it will sound because they rearrange the music they listen. But on that day, they were chased where the group, before they could even arrive on the field, because a group of youngsters were passing by and saw them group about to move to the field. Then they were saying like, hey, you people again, if you don't know and we see you on the field there, what we'll do to you, you will never forget in your life. Come on, live here. They scattered. Drummers were disappointed. On the beginning, they did not get disappointed because they know they will come another day. But on this day, they were disappointed because they did not even go to the field. They were chased away from where they group. So they scattered themselves. And Nima, we have a place called Lungu. It's in between houses. That's where the gutters ran. Sorry to say, the gutters were running, and we used that place also like a passage to pass by and in between the houses. So the drummers scattered themselves into the houses, the Lungu, sit down there and cry. They cry and cry and cry. And in the end, the cry sound like a music. Because you hear in the one corner, somebody is crying there and then go high pitch. High pitch. Then somebody harmonize it with a low pitch. The cry became like a music. As I grew up, I listened to this sound, and then I sometimes use them in my playing percussions. It became like a music. They cry and cry and cry. They cry till they chase them out from there also, because in the end their cry became noise. So they chase them away from their location. Then that's where you have to cry home. But you wouldn't cry home because they have to ask you what make you cry. So you wipe up your tears and cry in you. You know this cry that nobody hear the sound. It's only you. That's all you do. You go home and then you sit down there doing this sound, and then your parents will ask you, hey, what make you cry? Then you have to tell the story, the reason why you are crying. And then if you finish your story and it doesn't make sense, that's where you will cry the real cry. The really cry, the real one. If you are from Africa, you know what I'm talking. Not only Africa, they will beat hell out of you. They will beat hell out of you. This is where you cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. Cry and fall asleep. And then remember that you are crying, get up with shock, shout and cry, and then they will warn you. If you don't keep quiet, they will beat you again. So in the end, you have to give up. This story will continue. But I want you to imagine what instrument the drummers were using that their first performance was lasting 1 minute, 1 second. And the second performance, they did not even start at all. They were chased from where they group. I want you to analyze it, to think, what instrument were the drummers using? PJKDAKA Korea. Thanks.